Welcome back to America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys Formula, America's Medicare Associates, and retirement tax partners with Nolan Baker. ARHQ.com is the website to find out more about Nolan, the team. Set up a time to speak with them there, ARHQ.com, or give a call, 419-794-3030. Millions of Americans depend on their 401ks to save for retirement, so no need for a financial advisor, right? Well, listen to this. A recent survey found most who manage their own 401ks ran into investment options and fees that they didn't understand. But those who worked with an advisor contributed more to their plans and they felt more confident. How does the team at America's Retirement Headquarters help investors with their 401k and that confidence?
Well, if you feel lost with your 401k, here's how to add a GPS to your plan. And being in the business now over 30 years, if I go back in time, it would be common that somebody like you might come into the office with a 401k, and during the course of our review, we'd have a conversation and you might say, hey, here's my work 401k. I know I'm still working for another 5 or 10 years from now, but can you take a look at my 401k and give me a little advice on what you think, could be some of the choices? And we would typically look at that, and we would typically kind of go through that, and we would try to head an education conference about, what the different investment choices are, how the investor's risk profile is, whether they're conservative, moderate, or aggressive, and we might, help them pick out some of the choices by working together with them on their 401k plan. They then would take that advice and do with it as they wished. And it wouldn't be until another year or two that went by until they pulled it out. So that might be you. You might have gotten advice from your current advisor a year or two ago. Maybe you are in a target date fund and you haven't really looked at it, for quite some time, but this market volatility's got you a little bit concerned and knowing, are there opportunities to take advantage of? Are there pitfalls that you should be looking out for on your 401k? So it was years ago that I had run into a gentleman named Kevin, and we're at a traditional conference like you go to with most financial professionals, and naturally I asked Kevin, what do you do? And Kevin says that, we provide consistent, ongoing advice to our clients regarding their 401k accounts. And just like I described to you, overwhelming majority of advisors give advice only when asked, and it's on a case-by-case basis. There's no real process to how it was. So I was very intrigued by Kevin's company called Plan Confidence. And you can look at this if you go to 401kinvestmenthelp.com. You can take a little bit of a look at this, and we can actually walk you through it as well. But what his plan does is his plan will look at the different investment choices that are offered, and based upon the recommendations on a monthly basis, they can help provide a strategic asset allocation plan. And so when I use the word strategic, I talk about it as more like setting the cruise control. And you can set the cruise control to conservative, moderate, or an aggressive type of an investor. And cruise control to work traditionally more for long-term investors. It's more not looking at the near terms of the market. But the other thing that as we've done and improved the technology over the years is we also offer the circuit breaker or gas pedal approach on the plan, where we can then incorporate some near-term looking at market conditions. As an example, we had felt towards the end of last year, and the system had felt that 401k risk was elevated in the equity markets. And so we had, recommended people position their portfolios a little bit more defensive going into 2025. And boy, how that really kind of has helped with that gas pedal or circuit breaker approach of trying to minimize some of the downturn that they have in the market. So they can get advice either on a monthly basis. They can get advice when a circuit breaker goes off that would tell them to make a change in their plan, give them a little bit of a guidance. So your 401k is either your biggest, maybe your second biggest asset you own before and after your house. And if you feel lost with your 401k, we can help you add a GPS system onto your plan. What we'll do is we'll take a look at the different investment holdings that you have. We can put it in there and determine exactly what funds we think might be in your best interest, and ongoing then every month be able to monitor that plan, and then also based upon current market conditions, be able to help you out with that. So if you want to know, what should you be doing with your 401k in this environment, get a hold of our office. We can have a portfolio analysis where we talk a little bit different and deeper about your 401k and the choices that you have.
The GPS analogy is perfect, honestly, because I think we've all been on the road, going wherever, and then the GPS tells you there's a route that you don't normally take, and you either say, yes, I'm gonna trust you on this, and I'm gonna go that way, or you stay the course, and then you find out, oh, I should have listened, and now I'm 20, 30 minutes behind. If you do veer off course, we're all prone to do that. It'll recalculate, figure out how to get back on track. Same sort of thing when it comes to your 401ks. If you have these breakers in there, if you have this GPS in there and things do happen and it does get you off track, not a problem. Figure out how to get back on track. So if you're interested in this, or if you're not entirely sure how you stand right now with your accounts, give a call, set up a time to speak with the team at America's Retirement Headquarters. That's 419-794-3030, or go to the website, arhq.com.